Okay,
Hello.
we're sitting here with Hal Spector, otherwise known as Boise Bob, and Boise Bob and his backyard band.
Yep.
Hal, first of all, let's clear this up. You're not in any way related to or the legitimate son of Phil Spector. Is that true?
That's very true, but he tried to kill me once.
He did?
Yes, he
Can you
did.
tell us about that?
Yeah, I was swimming in this pool,
Yeah.
and I kept throwing Quaaludes in the pool, so I kept eating them. What else was I going to do, right? And 4 hours later, I was on the bottom of the pool, and the police were there, and well, when I came back to life, they said, "What happened?" And I looked at Uncle Phil and said, "Nothing." And then that was it. That's the whole story. It's true.
All right. You're one of the co-owners and co-founders of Sync Studios, the legendary Sync Studios, I might add. Can you tell me how that all started?
Okay. In 1977, I started a recording studio with a couple of other people.
Right.
And Barry Sievers from Cichlid, Charlie Pickett days, a guy named Tony Mancino who was with the Picketts and Cichlid sound man, and one of my partners.
Okay.
And we did a bunch of bands. We were at my house in Hollywood. Charlie Pickett was our first customer.
Okay.
Then
So Charlie Pickett was the first client of Sync?
Right. No. This is the before Sync.
Oh, okay.
And this was a place called Music Labs.
Right.
And then the Eat recorded there.
Right.
A lot of the early bands, and I was associated with Charlie Pickett.
Right.
And Robert Mascara.
Okay.
And I was doing engineering and stuff like that, and I started doing sound for Pickett. So things weren't going real good for me with the studio, my present studio.
Right.
One night at the Agora,
Right.
I was working with Pickett, being a sound man, and Frank Palestro, that bastard,
Right.
was working with a band called The Cookies.
Okay.
And we were on stage, and we were trying to get this direct box to work, and we were with the other sound guy from the Agora.
Right.
And he said, we were trying to get to work, we had 2 switches, and he said, well, put one switch up, now one down, and it still didn't work. Now do it and reverse it, so we did reverse it, and then it smoked, and it blew up. And me and Rat stood there and laughed.
Yeah.
We had never met before.
Yeah.
And after that, we became pretty good friends, and then at one point, he asked me if I wanted to join Sync Studios, and I told him yeah, and that's actually how that whole thing started, with Andy Clark and Luciano Delgado and Rat and myself.
Right.
And we had 4 rehearsal rooms.
Right.
One real big one where we had parties.
Right.
And we had recording studio.
Right.
And we just started recording. My first recording was with working with a guy named David Camp,
Okay.
who did a lot of other things. And I did a lot of work with all the local bands, doing all the rehearsals.
Right.
And I'll tell you, people, it wasn't easy. Not at all. It was fun after you thought about it, but there were times that it was very trying.
Yeah.
But we endured, and we moved out of there at some point, and moved to different places.
Right. Sync had about 4 different locations?
Yeah, 3 or 4 different locations.
Yeah. I used to live at one of them.
Okay. And one of them we used to have some amazing parties there.
Yeah.
Too. I mean, there were lots of bands at the front play there on a party.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right, the front play party, the legendary Heat party where Chris Cady gets arrested for firing a
Right, I was there.
Yeah.
He opened the trunk of his car and had a gun in the car, shot it in the air, right?
Yeah, right.
And then all the cops came. They didn't arrest him though, did they?
Yeah.
They did arrest him.
And let's see. So we did that. That was, lots of fun. And got involved with the music scene.
We did a lot of BP awards at
We had
Sync
BP
Studios.
awards too.
Yeah.
Yeah, BP awards were, always a fun thing. Me and Rat always kind of after Doug stopped doing them for a while, Rat and I were doing them, and we had this tradition, and the tradition was that, the day of the show, early in the morning, me and Rat would get together, go to all the bars, we'd accumulate beer cans.
Right.
And we'd figure out how many we needed, and if we didn't have enough, we'd have to drink the rest of them.
Oh, that's a shame, man.
And then we would go outside and we would paint them all.
Yeah.
And get them all dry and everything, and then we would have the show.
Right.